That's what women say they want, the alpha male, the confident, assertive man who always gets his way. They claim that it's genetic and primal, that they want to be a pack leader. Of course, there are those women who find the alpha male a big turnoff. They'd rather have the considerate man, the thoughtful man, the sensitive man. But still, there seems to be a decent number of women who are interested in the alpha male personality type. But what if I told you there is no such thing as the alpha male, at least not the way people think? The alpha male myth. The term alpha wolf isn't real. It's based on the research of a scientist named L. David Meck, who wrote the book The Wolf in the 1970s, based on his wolf observations at a wildlife preserve. Meck came up with the concept that there was one alpha wolf that was the dominant leader of all the other wolves. The book was a huge hit and coined the phrase alpha wolf, which people began to apply to people. Their reasoning was that people must behave like wolves, even though we have no other connections to them. After the book was released, Meck went back and studied wolves again, but this time in the wild. He realized that he had been incorrect in his findings. Wolves don't have a dominant hierarchy the way he had assumed, he realized. He tried to make his findings public, but by then it was too late. The idea of the alpha male had taken hold. But that doesn't mean anything, right? The more aggressive, athletic, assertive guy is an alpha, and is going to always get what he wants in every situation, right? Not always. Imagine you are the star college quarterback. You're the most popular guy on campus. You're smart, and you get good grades. Everything is great for you. You are the top dog. Now, drop yourself in with the characters of the television show The Big Bang Theory. Suddenly, you're at the bottom of the heap. You are in their world. You're definitely not the smartest, and definitely not in charge. In fact, you might not even be able to keep up with the conversation. If you're the alpha on the football field, you're definitely not trying to debate with that group. They are the alpha, and you are now answering to them. Being the alpha is situational, and it's really just a name for aggressive guys. It is not the be-all and end-all way of being. It is not something to aspire to. Be yourself. Be confident in who you are, and you'll fall where you will. Now, that being said, the lone wolf. This is what I think a lot of women mistake for the alpha male. They like the individual man who is responsible for his own life and circumstances. Being responsible when it comes to money, life, and your actions trigger something deep inside a woman. Remember that flirting and all of this is based on primal desires. Deep down, she wants someone who knows how to get stuff done. With a bit of mystery, the interest deepens. The lone wolf doesn't care about being a leader or having others bend to his will. He's merely concerned with his own fulfillment and needs. His self-worth is high, but he realizes it doesn't matter what people think of him. It's not all about the women. The lone wolf has a goal, and he's not going to let a relationship stand in the way. It could be work. It could be a goal to sail around the world. To a woman, that determination is sexy. While he's on his adventures, he's happy to have a woman at his side, but he's just as happy on his own. A woman doesn't define him. You know all women like you, and you don't care. Women love lone wolves. Young women, old women, women in general. But the lone wolf plays it off. He accepts the attention, but he doesn't need it. Showing masculinity and dominance. There was a time, years ago, when if you asked what it meant to be a masculine man, people would have said things like chest hair, big muscles, and the ability to get any woman he wanted. The concept of the alpha male became the stereotypical portrait of the perfect masculine male. But, as I discussed earlier, that was a misunderstood ideal, and was actually just one type of different masculine men. But times change, and the definition of what is masculine can shift. The same thing happens to women. There was a time if a woman didn't have the body of a teenage boy, they weren't considered feminine at all. Go back further in time, if they weren't what we considered overweight, they weren't seen as beautiful. So, which traits are considered masculine and will show her you are a mature, respectable male? Decisiveness. It's not just about knowing what you want. It's also about being able to think on your feet. It could be something as simple as choosing where or what to eat to how your schedule goes. She doesn't want wishy-washy. She doesn't want to watch you stumble over decisions. However, this doesn't mean decide for her. Don't go to a restaurant and order her dinner for her. Yeah, I know. Can you believe guys still try that? But if you ask her where she would like to go to dinner and she says, "Oh, I don't know," or "wherever," don't get into a discussion. Take that as a hint to take the reins. Better yet, when you ask her to dinner, tell her you'll take care of all the arrangements. Ask her if there's any food she dislikes and then take it from there. Self-reliance. Being masculine means you can take care of yourself. Whether it's work or clothing or just food, being a man means you can get stuff done for yourself. Being hangry is a perfect example. Ever forget to eat to the certain point that you started acting like a jerk? Well, why? Because you didn't have the self-reliance to make sure you ate. Now, if you snap at her and just say that it's because you didn't eat, she may be nice on the outside about it, but inside, she's wondering how you can't even eat right. Do you expect someone to be your mother and make sure you eat? Trust me, she does not want to be your mommy. It's real and not an act. Being masculine comes from within. It's not the clothes you wear or the way you style your hair. I can't count how many guys I've run across in my life who weren't very masculine and decided to fix it externally by buying a leather jacket or a motorcycle. That doesn't make you a man. Now you're just lacking masculinity with a new wardrobe and vehicle. It shouldn't be shakeable. You shouldn't suddenly show true colors so that people realize it was all an act. You need to start internally building confidence, habits, and outlook, and it will become an organic part of who you are. Masculinity is not conformity. A masculine man knows what he wants and believes in. Different than the alpha male, he gets what he wants. This is about standing up for what you believe in. You don't change your core beliefs or thoughts just because the rest of the people around you did. You stand up for your beliefs and will debate them. You don't mimic what other people say or believe. You're confident in your values and the way you view the world. Real men learn. One of the hallmarks of maturity is not only learning from your mistakes, but realizing there is information in the world that you don't know. It also means you accept it. Part of being masculine, as we already discussed, is adapting and being self-reliant. I explained that women are attracted to men who can get things done. Well, part of getting things done is learning how to do those things, and in order to do that, you need to search out answers and change according to what you learn. Changing an opinion or approach is a sign of intelligence, not weakness. If a doctor makes a diagnosis but then gets more information and realizes the diagnosis was incorrect, he's not going to continue with the initial decision. He's going to change based on the new information. The sign of a good doctor is one who can adjust to new evidence. Change is good. Try new things. Test them out and decide if you like them or believe in them. Toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is a term that has entered our language in the last few years and has become incredibly controversial. In short, it's when a man shows stereotypically masculine traits that are taken to extremes. Often, the phrase, "boys will be boys," is a target, saying that male behavior is given an excuse, no matter how damaging or offensive it might be. Often, it's connected to male entitlement and the idea that men are deserving of certain things or positions simply because they are guys. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't happen, because it most definitely does. How many times have you gone into a club or bar and seen a guy who felt entitled to do what they want? They drank the night away, getting loud and demeaning to everyone, and demanded that women hang out with them and even go home with them. However, as men, we don't have to fall into this trap. You can be masculine without being toxic. It comes down to respect and responsibility. If we respect women and understand that they're equals in every way, the concept of toxic masculinity can be eradicated. Now, being equal doesn't mean that we operate the same way. Women and men look for different things in life, especially when they're meeting new people of the opposite sex. If together as men we pass on lessons of respect toward women and other people to the next generation, we can all get along a little bit better. This has been How to Talk to Women. Get her to like you and want you with effortless, fun conversation and never run out of anything to say. How to Approach Women. Dating Advice for Men. Written by Ray Asher. Narrated by Russell Newton. Copyright 2020 by Ray Asher. Production copyright by Ray Asher.